Okay, so we are looking at the recap of the SAP ABAP Development Environment, and in this short recap, we are going to summarize all the key tools in the SAP ABAP Development Environment that we have covered so far, and also the ones that we are going to cover when we begin the ABAP development training or classes or sessions. So having a clear picture of what they do is extremely important. Of course, the first one that we had a look, it's the ABAP Editor and the printer. So the ABAP Editor is your main workspace and it is where all your code lives, and the printer, like we saw, helps you to keep everything readable and consistent. So every program that you build will start from the ABAP Editor, and the transaction code for the ABAP Editor is SE38. So let me open that. So I'm using the classical SAP theme. Let me open the transaction code SE38 so that we can see the ABAP Editor if you don't know about this. So right here is where we create our programs, and then you can enter the name of your program. Remember that when you want to create a program, your program name should always and must start with Z or letter Y. So for instance, I want to create a program name, you can say Z underscore hello program or ZZ underscore customer order program. Okay, then you go ahead to click on create. All right, so this is the ABAP Editor, and we can access this with the transaction code SE38. You can also access it using the object navigator SE80, and I've demonstrated it in the example programs. The next tools are the screen painter and the menu painter. So the screen painter basically is used to build classical SAP GUI screens. So if we go to the object navigator called SE8, and then if you see programs here, let me just open a program. This was not created by me, but let me just open this program. Let's execute this program. So right here you see the screen painter. You can see here the menu bar, the application toolbars, and all this you can create them using the screen painter and the menu painter. So the screen painter, you can use it to create input fields, text fields, buttons, and we have also demonstrated the screen painter and the menu painter. If you have not seen the video, you can also go and see the video. And then the menu painter is used to design the menus, the GUI status, and the function codes. So these two tools allow you to create interactive user interfaces directly inside SAP without the need for HTML or JavaScript. So everything is done visually. So, and these are the transaction codes to access it from SE80, the object navigator, or the SE41, the menu painter. So you can have access to this. So these are the tools that we've covered, and the tools that we are yet to cover, and we'll also cover them along the ABAP programming lessons that we'll be looking at. So the first one is the function builder, and the function builder you can access using transaction code SE37. So let's say \n SE37. So here is the function module. So the function module is a module used to create reusable piece of logic. So if you're familiar with programming, when you want to create methods, you want to create functions that are reusable, then you need to create those functions using function module. Okay, and these function module programs can be used anywhere in the program. And there's also what we call standard SAP APIs, which are the BAPIs. They are actually function modules. So when we start writing more advanced ABAP programs, this tool will be extremely important. And now the next tool that we'll be looking at also in coming lessons will be the class builder. So the class builder, if you know programming, you want to build a class and to create a class, there's a tool called class builder, and the transaction code is SE24. So this is used for creating global ABAP classes. That's in object-oriented programming or object-oriented ABAP, and we'll create this later. So modern S/4HANA development uses classes heavily. So this is a concept that you should know, and classes actually contains methods, contains attributes and events. So the class builder, just know it that this is the home of object-oriented ABAP. And then another tool that we are going to look at is the debugger. So the debugger is a tool to run your program step by step. So it helps you to inspect variables, it helps you to inspect internal tables and the flow logic. You can also set breakpoints and watch points. This is actually very important for troubleshooting and learning how the ABAP behaves. So also look at how the debugger works. So the debugger is your best friend when things don't work as expected. So you can pause the program and see exactly what is happening inside. So I'll also demonstrate this later on. If you're new to this channel, please encourage me by subscribing. And we have used the Object Navigator, which is the central hub of the ABAP development. You can access programs, you can access screens, you can access function models, you can access classes, include programs, dictionary, objects, and more. So if you're not familiar with this, that's the more reason why you should stick around this course. And it is basically your project explorer. So these are actually the core tools that you use as an ABAP developer. In the next session, we'll start writing more actual ABAP codes, working with data, working with variables, and also building real applications. And stay tuned for the programming basics. So if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and see you in the next video.